We kick off with the quarterback, Riley Nelson, here for this hour of the web chats. Here we are, second year, getting ready for a second year of independence.
Yeah, we're really excited about our chances. We love our schedule. We just love the opportunity to play football again. And especially for a guy like me who's a senior, I feel like I've been in college football a long time. We have 29 seniors on that team, on the team. So there's a lot of guys who this is our last hurrah, and we want to take full advantage.
I can remember less than a year ago at fall camp, you weren't the starting quarterback. Nobody wanted to talk to you. We come over, we do an interview that made Riley's abs famous. I don't know that we could ever do an interview that's quite like that again, but how is it to come here now to Media Day and you're the guy? You're the one everybody wants to talk to.
It is what it is. I mean, I jokingly say it's a necessary evil. So it's all part of it, and it's flattering to know we have such an interested and invested fan base. But at the end of the day, all I want to do is win football games.
How excited are you for the team in 2012?
Really excited, man. I've been really encouraged what happened through our winter and our spring and now our summer. I feel like our summer's been great. In past years where you're trying to get guys like, hey, man, don't go to the pool, like stop playing volleyball, you got to come to workouts, now it's like, hey, get out of here. You can't be here from 7 to 7, Go have fun, like go hold a girl's hand or something. So the tunes change. Guys are here all the time. Guys are really invested. And I know everybody hears that every year, but it's different this year. And I think that should translate over to success in the fall.
In the state of the program, your coach, Bronco Mendenhall, said guys just need to be in better shape. I know you've encouraged especially the offensive line to do that. How important is it for the team to get in better shape for the season?
I mean, it's pivotal. It's vital. We can't be in the same kind of shape we were in last year and expect to play differently. You have to do things to change, and as much as you can get, you can know your position better and the X's and O's of it all. If your body can't perform at a higher level, then you're going to be limited. So we are trying to break through that ceiling of physical conditioning and strength and speed and agility, so that as we get better mentally in the game and knowing what it is we should do, well, now, our ability to accomplish what we can accomplish increases. So I feel like we're well on our way, and if we can do that, then it'll be a special year.
On that note, we've been getting a lot of fan questions sent in, so we'll get to as many of them as we can. Garrett Breen asking, what have you been working on most personally in the offseason to be able to give the team the best chances in the upcoming season?
My throwing mechanics, my feet, being able to, throw with my body and not my arm, and trying to get a quick release with a lot of velocity on the ball. And then outside of that, just my overall knowledge of the offense, being able to get through my progressions quicker, get it to my check down if it's not there, knowing when to wait a little bit longer on the deeper throws, when to just cut my losses and give it to my running back. And so all those things I've been working on and studying, obviously our defenses, knowing what they are. It's a constant game of chess, but knowing exactly what they're going to do before they do it, I think will also give us a chance to win.
A lot of people also asking what plans you have to not get injured this year.
Yeah. Well, I'm working hard as I can to be as fit as I can be as flexible. I'm working on functional movement, speed, agility, strength, all that stuff to make myself have my body in the best condition I ever have. And so hopefully that will translate over into bigger health and durability. I know people want me to say that maybe I'm going to slide or I'm not going to run as much. It's like, look, man,
that's not who you are.
No, I can't change who I am. If I go into my senior year after spending all this time in college football and try and change who I am, the results will be disastrous. So one thing I will say, though, is I've gotten a lot better in progressing in my knowledge of the offense and the volume of reps that I have, is knowing when and where to get it to my running backs and let those guys give them the ball in space, let them go make plays. And so hopefully that'll decrease the number of times I take off. But hey, man, if I drop back and it's not there in the Red Sea parts, I'm going to go take off and get 12 because there's no sense in if you can get 15 yards and instead you're sliding at 12, like that just doesn't calculate in my mind. So I'm going to be the same me, but I'm making every effort I can in the summer to increase durability and health. and longevity.
Mike Elise is going to be here in a little bit, so I'll tell him, for Riley to be more healthy, he's going to make the running backs take more hits.
No doubt. Let him, Juice, Yona, Dave Foote, let all those guys, that's what they're built to do. And I know in my mind I feel like I'm built to do that, but I don't look like those guys. Well, I know
a couple years ago you told me you like taking hits and you like hitting people.
Well, here's the thing. So I don't like taking hits, I like hitting. You never get hurt hitting a guy. You don't. It's you deliver the blow and that's how you prevent from getting hurt. So rather than trying to avoid a hit, if I were to stop and oh no, this guy's about to hit me and try and get out of the way, that's when I'm going to get pummeled. But instead it's all right, this guy's bearing down on me. Let's, get him off balance with a little stutter step, take on half his shoulder, get get lower than him, get some forward lean going, make contact into him, throw him into the ground. That's one thing that people don't understand is that when I'm out there running around, everything's calculated. I've watched their defense, and I know who are bad tacklers. I know who I can lower my shoulder on. I've seen all their heights and weights. I know that this corner only weighs 180 pounds, and I'm 205. I should win that battle, You don't see me going head-to-head with middle linebackers. You don't see me trying to, take on defensive ends. Every move that I make when I'm outside the pocket and trying to gain yards downfield is calculated. And so I feel like that gets sold short. So if people will actually watch the game and evaluate it from that standpoint, I think they'll feel like I'm not as reckless as my reputation, suggests.
Somebody else, I think this is at Wisconsin Coug, wants to know, Riley, how many sit-ups do your abs get per day?
Sit-ups are for the old gym, man. We do bridges, the side bridges and all that stuff. RDLs, or straight leg deadlift. Those are true core exercises. But here's the secret. I'm going to tell everybody. 6-packs are made in the kitchen. It's all about how you eat, man. You can, unless you're a natural dude. Adam Hine could down a whole Little Caesars pizza for a month straight.
And you'd never know.
Be more ripped. So it's genetics and then it's diet. So sit-ups help a little bit, but I don't do a lot of sit-ups. I do a lot of that core stability work because that's what's more functional. I mean, once I'm done playing football, then I can worry about sculpting them or whatever. But by that time, I'll be so sick of working out, I'll probably just let it go.
Just not do it. So do you cook then? Are you a cook in the kitchen?
Yeah, I feel I've been single for a long time, so I make some mean dishes. I got me a crock pot this summer, and so I'm making all sorts of nice meals up. I got me a grill that I love to grill on, grill me up some asparagus with some, I make a nice chicken marinade and all that stuff. In the crock pot, I'm making some good stews. I make mean shredded chicken, shredded pork. I don't know if I'd say I have a specialty. I love steaming rice. They got me on brown rice right now, which it's not as fun. I love just good white steamed rice with some soy sauce. But yeah, man, I cook for myself. I've been doing it for a long time, and if I do say so myself, I'm pretty good at it.
Somewhere in the last minute, we went from a media day interview to an online dating service interview. I don't know where that happened there.
Yeah, right.
Ladies, why is he single? This guy cook it all up in the kitchen.
I know, right? Maybe I should, instead of taking him out to dinner, just bring him back to my place. But right now, it's gross stuff. I'm like broccoli, brown rice, and chicken or turkey every meal. So nobody wants to eat that. I go up with my family, and they're like, "Hey, let's go out to eat." And I'm like, "Hold on, let me eat first." And I prepare my own little meal, and then go out to eat with them. They're like, "You're no fun to be around." Maybe that's why. So,
want to talk about your acting career a little bit.
Yeah.
Pretty viral BYUtv commercial you put together recently.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like all the credit there goes to the director and the editing staff, because they turned that. I didn't know what I was doing. I was running around. It was funny. That week was the only time we could shoot. That was finals week, and I was studying hard. And I was like, "Look, I can give you guys from 11 to 1 on Wednesday night." And so we were shooting that thing in this building at 11 o'clock at night. We had one extra there. Everyone else they edited in, and all the lines were theirs and everything. So it was real fun to be a part of. I feel like they made me look a lot better than I was, but it was fun to do.
But
if you check this out right here, I actually broke the shredder.
You really broke the shredder?
On the take, the shredder jammed and broke, and because I threw so many in there. But
well, this commercial, you may say everybody else did the writing and everything, but one of the things that makes this commercial that's going to come up in a bit is the high five, which you made famous because of the TCU game. I mean, without that, this is nothing.
I know, the inside jokes, that's what makes it great. And she did such a good job. You know, she was right there, turning around, gave it a little high five. He's everybody's favorite. What's up,
Riley, you dog?
Yeah, Farnsworth, Riley, you dog. Like, everybody, I go back home and everybody's always saying that to me. So it was fun. But
So that high five in the TCU game, was that instinctive? Had you ever, I mean, did you wake up one morning and think, you know, I'd like to high five a ref sometime at the end zone?
No way did I plan that, man. It was interesting. That guy, he hesitated on the call, and I knew I got in. I knew it was close, but I knew my knee didn't hit the ground. I knew I got inside the pylon, so I kind of pointed at him when I stood up, and I was like, "Give it to me." And once he finally put his hands up, I don't know, I smacked his hand. So I was kind of mad at that guy because he was the one calling. He called the targeting penalty on Travis Uwale on that big third down. We were going to get that ball back and be able to, I think at that point we were down 7, and we were going to get the ball back and go tie it. Instead, he gave him that third down.
They get a field goal. It's a 2-possession game, and you get it with just a couple minutes left. So
I was kind of mad at that guy. It was almost done, and it was almost done out of like frustration. Like, you finally got one right. Good job. You know, a little bit of sarcasm there, but oh well. You know, it was fun. I'm glad people enjoyed it. I gotta be me, and whatever comes out. We'll see if this year I can get a butt slap or something.
I don't know why it was on the not top 10 though. That should have been a top 10.
Well, the good thing was I was on there, but the anchor, whoever it was on SportsCenter, was like, I don't know why that's on there. It's pretty cool, so I liked it.
So on that note about the targeting penalty on Travis Uwale, what were some of your disappointments from last season? Hard to, I mean, when you go 10-3, that's a successful season,
Right.
win a bowl game. But what things were maybe a disappointment?
You got to look to our losses first. I mean, a win's a win. I know a lot of people weren't too happy with my performance in the Tulsa game, but I look at it at the end of the day, was able to throw 3 touchdowns and, you know, score with 11 seconds left to win the ball game.
With a broken rib.
Yeah, and all
that we found out later.
and all that stuff. So sometimes you just have an off day and you got to take what you can get, and to be able to pull that win back. So although, you know, that was my lowest completion percentage this season, things like that, I don't really look at that as disappointment. As an area to improve, yeah, but by far the most disheartening and disappointing experience of last year was Utah. I watched back. I didn't realize with like 8 minutes left in the third quarter, it was a 13-10 ball game. And the way that we just couldn't put a drive together on offense, and then our defense was out on the field for so long that we just couldn't sustain it, man. And we got to do better. Like that won't. All I'm going to say is that won't happen again.
In the state of the program, they talked a little bit about the BYU-Utah rivalry. The ball's pretty much in Utah's court. Sounds like BYU wants to play them. Tom Holmoe wants to schedule it. Do you feel maybe that as players, if you're able to go out on their field and beat them, you might have a chance of keeping that rivalry going? I can't imagine that they want a loss on their home field to be the last taste
Their
in their
last
mouth.
one, right? So, man, it's really frustrating. Like, I hope they don't let egos and pride and, you know, I know there's money involved, and I know that you got to, you know, there's saying you got to do what's best for the program and things like that. Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, why deprive not only the fans and the state of Utah, but the players of the opportunity of playing that game and things like that? So, same thing kind of happened to me my senior year of high school. We had realignment, our enrollment dropped, and we got dropped a classification below our in-valley rivals and didn't get a chance to play them. And we went on to accomplish a lot that year, but there was always kind of a, you know, as we get together and talk about it, it's like, oh man, we would have loved to play that rivalry game that we never got a chance to. So here we are, you know, here I am years later still talking about that, and I imagine the Utah-BYU rivalry, if it ends or becomes less consistent, is going to have the same kind of sentiment.
Well, make it the worst case scenario that if they want to end the rivalry, they have to end it knowing that they just got slaughtered on their home field.
Trust me, we're working for that. So that's a game we're marking on our calendars, and man, we just need to come out and play really well, and then hopefully that gets it there, you know, it gets it pulls on their heartstrings a little bit, and they want to kind of keep it going because they don't want to finish with that bad taste in their mouth.
Expectations then for this next year, aside from just, you know, obviously wanting to get back and beat Utah, what are your expectations overall for 2012?
Man, I feel like we're putting in a lot of effort right now, and I feel like we've had a good offseason up until this point. I feel like it's your guys' job, the media and the newspaper and the fans' job to speculate and set expectations. Our expectation is to come out tomorrow. We have a player run practice and a speed work session with a regeneration workout. And so our expectation is to come out tomorrow and give 100% effort in that, starting off with the first period of player run practice to the second period, then on into the speed work, then on into the regeneration. That's our expectation, is to come out and do that again tomorrow. Then again on Friday, recover over the weekend, be back on Monday. And so that's what I'm most worried about. And then having said that, I do have faith and confidence that the culmination of those everyday efforts, you know, even down to a single rep of power cleans or a single rep of squats or a single rep of bench, will culminate in a great season. So we'll let the season take care of itself. Right now we're worried about still, you know, we got 4 more weeks of summer left, and then we got 29 practices of fall camp to get better every day.
My expectation is 63-0 every game. Opponent never gets over midfield.
That sounds about typical for BYU.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'll just sum that up, and that's
yeah,
our
we'll
expectation.
see.
Okay.
Again, not to reference high school again, but we had a game where we didn't allow a first down. So I think that's a worthy goal for our defense.
All right.
And so, you know, we'll shoot for that.
Okay, when Kyle comes, I'll tell him what the quarterback says the defense's goal
No
needs to be.
first down. Yeah, right.
All right, thanks to Riley Nelson for joining us here on the web chat.